posture of Jimin under scrutiny, Jungkook Restless, and the truth that shakes the fandom. The image was supposed to inspire joy, but instead, it ignited unease. A single photograph taken at sunset on a quiet beach, BTS reunited, smiling, relaxed, the 7 members together again after what felt like an eternity. Yet, amid the serenity, 2 details refused to fade into the background: Jimin's posture, fragile and diminished, and Jungkook's restless demeanor, shifting, unsettled, almost unable to conceal his distraction. Why did this moment of reunion, expected to be celebrated worldwide, instead spark global anxiety? Why did what should have been a symbol of strength transform into a portrait of fragility? The questions multiply with every passing hour, with every repost, with every frame dissected under the microscope of millions. Is Jimin's posture a silent confession of hidden strain? Is Jungkook's unease an instinctive reflection of concern? Or are both gestures nothing more than coincidences magnified by a fandom desperate for meaning? The truth remains uncertain, but the weight of speculation grows heavier with each debate, leaving fans across continents tense, restless, and divided. From the very moment the images surfaced, the global fan base shifted sharply from elation to alarm. What began as cheers quickly transformed into frantic questioning. Is Jimin okay? He looks too thin. Something is wrong. These phrases surged through Twitter threads, TikTok edits, and fan forums, overwhelming what should have been a simple celebration. The supposed evidence was undeniable. Jimin, dressed casually with only a towel resting on his shoulders, looked visibly slimmer than in past public appearances. His shoulders sloped in ways that seemed uncharacteristic, his posture lacking its usual precision and grace. Fans accustomed to praising his elegance were now confronted with a figure that appeared delicate, perhaps even frail. At the same time, Jungkook, the member often described as the embodiment of energy and composure, appeared different. Observers noted his fidgeting hands, his shifting posture, and the frequent glances he directed toward Jimin. His smile flickered, at times genuine, at times forced. Was this a brotherly instinct revealing itself in body language? Or was it simply the restless energy of a public figure caught off guard? The interpretations are endless, but the unease was unmistakable. This duality, Jimin's fragile posture and Jungkook's apparent restlessness, quickly transformed the reunion from a moment of warmth into a cultural flashpoint. Analysts of idol culture argue that such intense scrutiny is inevitable. Every gesture from BTS is magnified beyond proportion. The smallest detail, whether intentional or accidental, is interpreted as symbolic, a window into hidden truths. But what happens when those interpretations spiral into something larger than reality itself? For many fans, Jimin's appearance reopened old wounds. This was not the first time his health had been questioned publicly. In past interviews and documentaries, he had confessed to struggles with self-image, skipped meals, and intense discipline that pushed him to emotional breaking points. His candid admissions about vulnerability left a lasting impression, and seeing him now with a seemingly diminished frame revived fears that history might be repeating itself. Could exhaustion, stress, or hidden pressures be manifesting once again? The lack of clarity only deepened the tension. Silence surrounded the issue. No explanations, no direct reassurances, no definitive answers. In that vacuum, speculation thrived. Fans began analyzing video clips frame by frame, scrutinizing every gesture, amplifying every shadow. In one slowed-down TikTok edit, Jimin's movements were portrayed as fragile, his steps as tentative. In another YouTube commentary, Jungkook's fidgeting was dissected as undeniable proof of inner worry. Yet critics caution that such interpretations may be less about reality and more about projection, the collective fears of millions finding expression in ordinary body language. Still, the unease persists. For an industry that thrives on perfection, even the slightest crack invites storm-level reaction. And so, Jimin's posture became more than just posture. It became a symbol, a focal point of global concern, representing the fragile balance idols must maintain between artistry, health, and relentless expectation. Jungkook's restlessness, too, could not be ignored. For a performer celebrated for his adaptability and calm, his visible unease raised questions impossible to dismiss. Did he sense something fans were only beginning to suspect? Did his glances toward Jimin reveal an instinctive protectiveness, a silent awareness of vulnerability? Or was his demeanor simply a coincidental flicker misinterpreted under the burning lens of fandom obsession? The more fans debated, the heavier the symbolism grew. The beach reunion was supposed to signal renewal, whispers of a comeback, promises of togetherness, reassurance that BTS remained unbroken despite years of separation and individual pursuits. Yet instead of calm anticipation, the gathering left an imprint of doubt. Why did Jimin's posture suggest fragility at a time meant to symbolize strength? Why did Jungkook's energy shift toward unease instead of ease? The emotional stakes are immense. BTS is not just a group of entertainers. They are symbols of resilience, authenticity, and connection. Fans across continents do not merely consume their music. They build identities around the values the group represents. To see Jimin appear delicate while Jungkook appeared restless was to confront the possibility that even these symbols of strength carry vulnerability too heavy to disguise. That realization cut deeper than any speculation, leaving fans torn between celebration and concern. The reaction has been unprecedented. Projects of love and reassurance surged online, fan letters, digital campaigns, videos declaring unconditional support. Billboards lit up with messages of strength. Yet, beneath the outpouring of affection, the urgent question remained unanswered. Can love shield them from the unrelenting pressures of perfection? Can fandom devotion ease burdens that appear both physical and emotional? The larger issue lies not only in Jimin's posture or Jungkook's demeanor, but in what they represent about the K-pop industry itself. An industry that thrives on flawless appearances, that rewards discipline and transformation, yet quietly risks the well-being of those who embody it. How long can idols withstand the impossible demands of perpetual reinvention? How long can they maintain perfection under lights that never dim, under eyes that never close? Every replayed clip, every speculative caption, every magnified image forces the fandom to confront its own complicity. Are these gestures genuine cries for help? Or are they ordinary moments exaggerated by the hunger for narrative? Do fans protect their idols by voicing concern, or do they inadvertently add to the pressure by demanding constant reassurance? The line between protection and intrusion blurs dangerously in this cycle. This dilemma deepens when considering the machinery of digital media. Viral edits, dramatic thumbnails, slowed-down analyses, all of them reshape perception, bending reality to fit the rhythm of algorithms. Does repetition create truth? Or does it manufacture illusion dressed as fact? Silence from official channels only sharpens the dilemma. Should silence be read as evidence of crisis or as refusal to feed rumor? The ambiguity itself becomes fuel for sensationalism. Perhaps the most unsettling reality is that fans may never know the truth. Was Jimin's fragile posture a result of exhaustion? Was Jungkook's unease a fleeting coincidence? Or are both fragments of a much larger narrative too complex to unravel through photographs alone? What is certain is that the images have already reshaped the fandom's collective memory. The beach reunion is no longer remembered as a carefree celebration. It now stands as a moment suspended in tension, a reminder of fragility, of vulnerability, of the human cost behind global fame.